Arsenal are reportedly looking at stepping up their interest in Morgan Rogers. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man right here, Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa, who has enjoyed a very successful season with the Villains this year. Of course, not only have they qualified for the Champions League with Morgan Rogers' help, Aston Villa, but they also tasted success and a triumph in the Europa League with Unai Emery, the brains behind the operation, in what was an incredible campaign for the West Midlands side. But with success comes obviously the risk that they may end up losing out. And one of the big things that they could lose out on is a star player like Morgan Rogers, who's enjoyed 2.5 incredible seasons at Aston Villa. But of course, as he has enjoyed that success with the Villains, there has obviously been a growing interest in his services from rival clubs, from other clubs. Liverpool was said to be interested not so long ago. There may have been one or two other interested parties, but it seems as though Arsenal are the latest team to be really cranking up their interest. And it looks like Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are going to make a big splash in this transfer window. And that could be the England international. We're going to be looking at Morgan Rogers, we're going to be looking at Arsenal and everything else in between. But before we go any further in discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all, please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage each and every single one of you to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on this potential transfer story. I'm sure your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure. So please do get involved down below. Use and abuse that comment section, people. And without further ado, we're going to get on with the conversation ourselves. Now, Morgan Rogers is not exactly like a secret. Morgan Rogers has been someone who, like I say, over the past 2.5 years especially, has really burst onto the scene and really established himself in the Premier League, scoring goals, creating chances, and playing very, very well and very consistently for Aston Villa since he signed for them back in 2024. He has gone on to produce in his first full season, we'll go with his first full season, 14 goals and 16 assists in 54 appearances across all competitions. They include the Premier League, Champions League and FA Cup. And this past season, of course, he has made 55 appearances, scoring 14 goals and getting 12 assists. So, fairly consistent across both seasons. A few less assists this time around, but he has produced when it matters most. He has helped Aston Villa, as I mentioned earlier, to a top 4 finish this season. He has helped Aston Villa to a Europa League triumph this season. He's helped Aston Villa to obtain Champions League football for next season. The guy has been a big cog in the machine at Aston Villa under Unai Emery for the past 2.5 years. And it will be sad for our Villa fans if he was to obviously go, but that is the obviously risk that you have when you put these players on a pedestal to perform. Some of the big clubs are going to come along and cherry pick them. And it's all about whether or not Morgan Rogers wants to leave. It's all about whether or not Morgan Rogers feels it's his time to leave and maybe jump ship. And if Arsenal come calling, with the current state that Arsenal are in right now, and with the current state of everything in terms of the Premier League, and obviously with them in a Champions League final on Saturday, and, you know, competing for the major honours, it'll be hard to really turn that down. Morgan Rogers is 23 years of age. He'll be turning 24 in July. So by the start of next season, he'll be 24 years of age. So it's a relatively good period of time that he's got. He's got the experience of the Premier League for the here and now. He's very established in that league. Scores goals, creates goals, as we've previously saw. And like I say, with all that being said, he's ideal for a team like Arsenal, who don't want to rest on their laurels, who want to go out there and strengthen whilst they're at the top of their game. It's what the best teams do. I know it didn't work last season, but when Liverpool won the league, they splashed 450 million. At the time, we all said that that was the right thing to do, and we all said that even though rival fans may not like it, that's what you have to do to try and stay at the top. Now, it hasn't quite worked out for other reasons. There's less of a gamble here. Let's put it that way. Less of a gamble with an established player. The only thing that concerns me about Rodgers to Arsenal, as much as I think it's a fantastic move for Arsenal, as much as I think like Aston Villa could get a very handsome fee, and when we're talking fee here, Villa are reportedly valuing Morgan Rodgers at about 100 million. Arsenal think they can get them down from that. They're possibly looking at somewhere around about the 80 million mark. Certain reports are suggesting somewhere around about that kind of fee. The thing that concerns me about this is, what is Morgan Rodgers' best position? What is his best position? Because one of the things that is very, very good about Morgan Rodgers is that he's very versatile across that front line. He can play as a false nine. He can play on the left wing. He can play on the right wing. But I think through the middle is where he properly excels. I think playing through the middle is where he'll excel. And look, having that versatility is obviously something that Mikel Arteta loves. Look at his defenders. They're all centre-backs / full-backs. They can play in both of those positions. His midfielders can go from being 6s and 8s to 10s. And, his wingers can go from the right to the left. Even, like I said before, false 9 up front, that kind of thing. That versatility is very, very important to Mikel Arteta, and Morgan Rodgers fits that bill. He fits that criteria. Like I say, he's popped up on the right, left, centre, most advanced positions for Aston Villa over the past couple of years. But I just feel like this is another Eberechi Eze situation. Now, of course, Eze has been good for Arsenal. I think people are expecting a lot more from Eze, especially I certainly was expecting a lot more from Eze this year, but it hasn't quite clicked so far. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a lot of Arsenal fans are even confused as to why Eze hasn't been granted a lot more minutes than what he's already been given this past season. Morgan Rodgers might be another case of Eberechi Eze. Now, unless you are looking at maybe selling one or two players, maybe Trossard, maybe a Martinelli, then of course this is a brilliant, brilliant upgrade. It's all about just whether or not he fits through the middle or whether he fits on the left. That's where I would have a bit of a concern, because whilst he can very well and adequately do those positions and those roles, it is about finding what is best for him and how to bring out the best in Morgan Rodgers. But there's no doubt about it. Quality talent. Very good technically. Very, very good going forward. Like I say, creates chances, creates goals, scores goals himself. Get that on the right. Get the ball on that right foot of his from a inverted left wing position, and he'll probably find the back of the net 9 times out of 10. He's just that damn good. And not only that as well, but I think an underrated piece of his game is his defensive contribution as well. He's very good defensively as well. Defense from the front, work rate is excellent. Gives away a fair few fouls, but again, shows the willingness to really defend and to get the ball back for the team. And that's going to be very, very useful. It's going to be very, very useful for Mikel Arteta and for Arsenal going forward. It re-energises the squad. It reinforces the squad. Again, it's about not resting on your laurels when you're at the top. It's always about constantly trying to evolve and constantly trying to freshen things up within the squad. I think Morgan Rodgers to Arsenal would be a fantastic move. I think it would be a big splash in this transfer window, and it would definitely make rivals sit up and take note that Arsenal, not just like a one-season wonder after several years of trying, that they are trying to stay at the top of the mountain. And it just means that everybody else needs to book up their ideas this summer and maybe follow suit. going to be tough, but it's going to be tough, and it's obviously not going to be an easy transfer, I would imagine, to get done. I'm just having a look now at how long he'll have on his how long he's got left on his contract. His contract is for another 5 years. His contract expires in 2031. So this is a case of Aston Villa don't need to sell. They don't need to sell. Unless, obviously, they've got PSR issues, which I'm not 100%... I know they are... There is a little bit of struggling there from Aston Villa, but obviously that Champions League money coming in, not only that, but also winning the Europa League as well, might help them a little bit. It'll be hard to obviously sell or be forced into selling a very, very good asset in Morgan Rogers. That 5-year contract might be a bit of a stumbling block for Arsenal in terms of, like I say, Aston Villa might not want to sell. They might play a bit of hardball. There might be a very big fee that may have to come in for Aston Villa to be tempted. Like I say, reports are suggesting anywhere 100 million plus, it seems, that Aston Villa are looking out for. But of course, as we know, reported fees and what actually happens in reported fees are two completely different things. So we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. But yes, for me, Arsenal are looking in the right areas. I still think... I do think that the attacking third of Arsenal does need some proper what's the word I'm looking for here? Some proper reinforcing, some proper upgrading. Maybe those two words, because everyone raves about their defensive contributions, and you know their defense is insane. Their midfield is very, very good. It's just the attack. And I know that it's weird to say that from a team that has just won the Premier League and potentially is on the verge of winning the Champions League as well. But I feel like if they went into another season with the attack that they currently have without adding to it, upgrading it, or whatever the case may be, then they won't be able to retain this Premier League title. Adding Morgan Rogers and maybe another player or two in the attacking third will reinforce it enough to obviously reaffirm their status as being potentially the favourites going into next season. Morgan Rogers to Arsenal looks like it could be on the cards this summer. Arsenal looking to step up their attempts for the England international. Will Villa be able to hang on to him, or will they have to cave in to maybe the demands of Arsenal, or maybe even the demands of Morgan Rogers himself? Remember, player power, as we saw last year a lot, can turn the tide in these transfer dealings. The ball is seemingly in Morgan Rogers' court. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Anyway, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know in the comment section down below what you make about this Morgan Rogers situation. Do you think he'll stay at Villa? Do you think he'll go to Arsenal? Do you think he may go elsewhere? Is there another team waiting in the wings to maybe pounce on this potential transfer story? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comment section there. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always done for me. Greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.